Hey everyone, Happy New Year. I haven't done another toy review video yet because the place where I put my light box is currently filled with many things that I'm still painting now, miniatures. In fact, I'm also in the process of painting my Mcfarlane Batmobile right there. That was the original weird cockpit stuff. So repainting that as well. Anywho, today I want to do a video because of the current situation with Mcfarlane, which I find absolutely ridiculous, but I might as well do a video going through all the different gripes I have with Mcfarlane toys. Just for some context, I'm a huge DC fan more than Marvel. I grew up with the Timberverse or Bruce Timmverse or whatever DC AU, so I have a big love for that. I know more DC stuff. I've read more DC stuff. That's not to say I don't like Marvel. I like most of the movies. I just watched Echo. That was fun. What you can see here, I have DC collectibles, Mathix, and some Mcfarlane stuff on display. I also love Ninja Turtles, like the live action stuff in the 90s. That goes really well with DC stuff. I do have some Marvel Legends, the X-Men stuff, but honestly, most for the price, most Marvel Legends are garbage. So I don't like them. With some exceptions aside, I don't buy Marvel Legends stuff. But yeah, in terms of Mcfarlane stuff, you can see I have a whole box load of these figures here. Some figures I sell off, some I keep. I got, the Batman Beyond stuff, some of the Batman movie stuff, and got even some of these bigger figures here. And like I said, I have this Batmobile here, which I'm in the process of painting, and probably gonna 3D print some seats to change up the inside as well. Got, all the weapon packs and stuff, which are quite fun. So I like a lot of Mcfarlane stuff. So I'm gonna go through some of the good stuff with Mcfarlane. So the best thing about Mcfarlane was its original price point was really affordable. It was great. Some of the second thing is I'm really glad in terms of budget, they put most of their budget into the sculpt work and not the paint apps, because paint apps cost more money at the factory, but molding different sculpts doesn't cost more. Like if you're still molding 5 parts, doesn't matter if you make it a cylinder or you put a lot of pattern and stuff on it. That doesn't increase the budget. It increases the budget during the designing process, like the designer doing it. But after that, the mold costs the same because you still have the same amount of molds for the same amount of vigor. So I'm really glad with that. And some people have mentioned in my previous videos where I repainted Mcfarlane figures about that is that what they do is they say why I'm hating Mcfarlane so much. Like I'm not. I'm saying that's a good thing. If you have a flat figure, it's really hard to repaint it. But if you have actually molded details in there, it's great. Not all of us can sculpt. We play with blue tack when we were a kid, but we can't sculpt. Whereas everyone's held a pencil or pen, we draw, we write, and that translates a lot easier to painting something that already has a shape. It's a lot easier to do, and that's what I do with a lot of my figures. I recently got the collector's edition Wonder Woman, finally released it, and there's a lot of missing paintwork, like the straps in the shield, and yeah, mostly that. So that's something I definitely want to repaint, the shield, and the silver just looks atrocious. So I'm gonna take this whole shield and spray it as well as the sword, and then just repaint that, and it'll look a lot better than just plasticky. But that's the good thing about Mcfarlane. The budget is in the sculpt. And in terms of like getting more rarer figures, I'm really glad. So for the price point and what you get previously, Mcfarlane figures overall are quite good. I don't just get the DC stuff. I got one of the spawns, some Mortal Kombat stuff. I'm glad they have the Doom guy there. I had the Doom Slayer, but I saw that because I got the Figma one, because it's one of my favorite games of all time. So I'm going to get the best version of the figure, even if it costs a lot more. So yes, so that's my standpoint on Mcfarlane. I also got a lot of their Warhammer figures, and those are really good as well. Much better. The Bandai one was great, but it was way too expensive. So the Mcfarlane ones were good too. So that's the good side of Mcfarlane. The whole DC line that they do is much better than the Mattel stuff, because for me personally, the Mattel stuff was and is garbage. Even back then, for the price point, the QC was so bad, the printing was always messed up and just awful. So previously, my only way to get DC figures that I was happy with was DC collectibles. Yeah, some of them are quite fragile, but that's something I can fix and they still look good. And got like Mathix or Bandai, SH Figuarts, and they cost a lot more. But fortunately, I'm in Hong Kong, so they cost a little bit less more for me. But now that Mcfarlane's doing DC Multiverse, I'm actually really happy. Aside from the first wave was a bit iffy, the rest of it has been consistently decent. Weird color choices aside. Now that's all the good stuff with Mcfarlane. Let's go with all of my gripes with Mcfarlane that I've mentioned some of my reviews. So first bad thing with Mcfarlane in general is what's up with Build-A-Figures? I really hate Build-A-Figures. What was that thing with Build-A-Batmobile? That was really, really dumb. The best time for a Build-A-Figure is when all of the figures come from the same place, same time, and the Build-A-Figure itself is also from the same place at the same time. That's okay. But more often than not, we're getting these random figures from different comic books, different series for a Build-A-Figure. And like, what am I going to do with those extra parts if I only want one of the figures? If I want to build a figure, do I really need to spend money and buy 4 other figures I don't want just for the Build-A-Figure? I'm not going to do that. And if we're looking at the current problem issue wave with Crisis, I really like the Monitor. I really like the Spectre. But I'm not going to buy another Kid Flash. I'm not going to buy another Superman or whatever just for that. It's a waste of space and money. Psycho Pirate looks okay, but I've got no interest in that character. Only Old Man Superman has a wired cape. So what? Like, I'm not going to get all those figures. As much as I want the Spectre and the Monitor, I'm not even going to get the Spectre because what I'm going to do with some extra bits of arms just lying around, an extra head. I really hate Build-A-Figure. If you're going to charge more for a certain character, then just charge more for a certain character. Forcing the customer to buy things they don't want just to get one thing that they want is absolutely ridiculous. This is downloadable content. This is locked away content. This is utter bullshit. The whole idea of Build-A-Figure is utter bullshit. Just let me buy what I want, and if you need to charge more, then charge more. If all of these figures, actually the $40 price point, US dollars, Anti-Monitor could actually justify it because of how much new sculpt and new armor pieces that he has. That's hard to reuse, so fine. But yeah, no, I hate Build-A-Figures. The second thing I hate that the company does is these digital figures. Like, what the fuck is that? Is that an NFT? Like, what am I doing with digital file that I can't even put in the 3D printer? I can't put it in Unity. I can't put it in Unreal Engine. Like, it's what? You want me to download a JPEG of the thing? Like, you have a video of the 3D figure rotating. I could just take that video and be like, okay, I like this angle. I'm just going to use that. Like, no, NFTs, piss off. If you're saying, oh, I've done 3D, I'm uploading all the 3D sculpts of all the figures I produce, and you can download them and do what you want with them. Okay, great. That sounds like a really fun idea because you already have the assets done. This whole 3D collector thing, like, what am I collecting? Nothing. With Mcfarlane figures is the joint between the upper leg and the diaper area or the underpants area, because honestly that thing is really dumb. So here I have a split apart figure of one of the Golden Wonder Woman. I was going to paint this in the classic Wonder Woman colors, but now that we have the classic Wonder Woman, I'm just going to assemble this, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. I'm decided to sell it off or do something, but this Golden Wonder Woman is worthless in Hong Kong. I could give it away for free and no one will want it. It would take a long time before someone says, hey, I'll come get it. But yes, so this joint right here between the upper leg and the diaper joint, the joint inside. As you can see here, it's built in multiple parts. As the joint itself is in 2 pieces. You got the upper leg and that's a separate piece. So in theory, as long as you make this inside piece a circular piece, a cylinder piece, it can rotate. But that's not what they've done. How many figures do they make every year in different colors, different plastic, different molds? At some point, the mold's gonna wear out. And they should have done this in the first place, but when the mold wears out, dear Mr. Mcfarlane, turn this piece into a round piece like the Japanese companies and make it so that the upper leg can actually have a rotating joint. Because that will cost you the same during manufacturing, and it will give us an extra joint, and we'll be much happier. Right now, only a few Mcfarlane figures somehow can rotate the upper legs. But the most can't? Why? That doesn't cost you more to manufacture. So fix it. Like, this is 101. How many years have you been making statues and toys now? You still can't do that? How many years other companies are around and you haven't seen it? Like, come on, just fix that. Finally, most of the head sculpts that they do are iffy at best. So good luck with that. It'd be nice to improve too. And finally, the one thing that I really dislike with Mcfarlane figures is the different figures with the different facial expressions, the figures that don't have any accessories, and some do, some don't. Huh? If you're going to charge us more for gold collection, gold label, the collector's edition, whatever, give us some extra hands, give us the different faces. I do not want to buy 2 of the same figures just because I have a different expression, different hands, and different whatever. This is the perfect time for you to put the price up, actually. If you put the price up and it has all the parts for me to swap, I don't have to waste space, I don't have to waste money, you don't have to waste more shipping fees. It's better for the environment just to have all the extra accessories in one box. I really like the Blue Beetle, the design, the suit. I love Toku, like I love Kamen Rider, so it's great. Like, oh, Blue Beetle's wearing an actual suit. It looks good, looks close to the comic. And then Mcfarlane comes out and was like, okay, this one has the wings, but then this one has the sword or something. I'm like, what the hell? I want. So I did end up buying both Blue Beetles because they were dirt cheap in Hong Kong. And what I did was I took all the accessories from one of them and then I sold off the extra Blue Beetle figure with nothing. And I was lucky enough to get rid of it somehow. But I would have much rather have a slightly more expensive figure with all the accessories. In terms of accessories, that extra collector's card thing, yeah, I really don't care about that. I've been getting rid of them. Like when I sell one extra Mcfarlane figure, I would lump it up with like 10 different cards that are slightly related some way so that I can get rid of them and not feel like I'm wasting them. The only good thing about those cards are little blurbs on the end. But you cannot call them a collector's card because there's no rhyme or reason with the cards. Some of them are digital renders, some of them are photos of the figures, some of them are comic book covers, some of them are movie posters. Like, make up your mind. What are these cards for? What are they showing? If you put all of these cards on the wall, they're not going to look consistent. They're not going to look good because they're all different and feel completely random. They don't feel like they're from the same set. It's like I have 5 Digimon cards next to a Pokemon card. It doesn't make sense. So it's like just on top of that, in order to package the card with the figure, you'd have to mold an extra piece of plastic to stick it into the backing card in the box. I'm just thinking like, why? just stop. I've not heard anyone online saying like, I can't wait for that new collector's card with the new Mcfarlane figure. Who says that? No one says that. Like, what? Okay, finally we come to our newest and main complaint currently right now that's trending on all the toy collector sites, and that's the $40 price hike for their Mcfarlane figures. I don't care what you call it, a gold label collector's figure, those figures are not worth $40. They're worth the original price. All of them have this great sculpt work, but they're all still missing paint jobs. Some of the figures are recycled bodies from previous stuff, so there's no way you're telling me that those figures are worth that much. Oh, Superman has a wide cape. Why doesn't Spectre and Martha have a wide cape? And okay, that's an extra step in the manufacturing process, but you cannot tell me that a wide cape costs another $20 or $15 more than a plastic cape. Why doesn't the plastic cape cost money? That costs money too. I'm sorry, is cloth really expensive? Are the little wire sticks really expensive right now? How many companies make wire capes? Like, don't tell me that's if you increase the price by like $1 US or $2 US, okay, yeah, fine, it's a new manufacturing process for you. $10, $20, no. And none of these figures come with hardly any extra accessories. I think Kid Flash has like 2 extra hands. What would he fucking do? Some other figures have extra hands. I don't care. That's not $20 price hike. And then some people are saying, hey, there was an issue with Target or something. It's supposed to be exclusive wave at the Target shops, and then they sent it back. They didn't want to do it. First of all, like, were they going to cost $40 at the shop as well? Who's going to buy that? How many Mcfarlane figures are peg warmers and nobody buys them? How many of them shop in Ollie's or something in America that I heard is where it's the graveyard of like budget figures that you can get? Target doesn't take it. I'm sorry, did you have a contract with them? Did you just produce figures and be like, before they made the figures, do you want to buy it or not? And Target's like, whoa, wait, what? You made figures already? Like, that doesn't make sense. You've been in the business for how long, Mr. Mcfarlane, and you didn't have a contract in place? You didn't plan ahead? Like, don't tell me you made these figures without Target knowing and Target refused them. No, you must have had some kind of agreement with Target when you made these figures. So that sounds like a you problem, not a customer problem. A customer shouldn't have to pay for this problem. That's not our problem. And now it's exclusive on your website. Yeah, you say there's a coupon or discount if you buy the whole set, but I'm sorry, you still charge for shipping. That Facebook post that they post where each figure comes down to about $25 if you include the Builder figure. How about no? How about all the previous Builder figures were still a part of the price point? How about people are still paying shipping so you can't divide it like that? That's total bullshit. Me personally, the monitor looks really good. Like, I kind of want that. And I also like the Spectre because I've never had a Spectre figure before, but he's a really cool character. As a big DC fan, it'd be really cool to have Spectre next to Martian Manhunter, Golden Age, J. Garrett Flash, etc., etc. But I'm not gonna pick that up because, first of all, the other three figures, the Superman looks ugly as whatever. I don't know what's wrong with that head. The card that they show in the box art and the collector's card looks completely different. The body's great, but the head's just Psycho Buyer. I don't care about. I don't need another Kid Flash because I have a CW Kid Flash. I have another comic book one. I do not need another one. I don't care if it's black skin or white skin. I have a Kid Flash already. I don't need another one. So I'm not picking up other figures that I gotta somehow get rid of, waste time, effort, money, travel to get rid of those figures. And I'm also not going to pick up the Spectre because as much as I want him, as much as the actual body and stuff look great, what's up with the cape? Sculpted cape is so exaggerated. It only works as a statue. Dear Mcfarlane, I am buying action figures. You are selling your line as action figures, not statues. You want to make a Spectre statue? Go ahead and sell that. But this is a figure. You either give it a wire cape or you give the plastic cape a relaxed pose, because what am I going to do with this Spectre where the cape's constantly going up? If the Spectre was the normal price, I would pick him up, cut the cape off and the hood, and I'll personally get some green fabric and wires and stitch one myself, and that would be the best. But I'm not going to do that now because it's way too expensive, and I got to put extra effort into doing it, and I know. And for the rest of you out there whose Spectre's been sold out now on their website, I'm from Hong Kong, so I don't buy from Mcfarlane website. In fact, there's no exclusivity in Hong Kong. It's going to show up in the local shops one way or another, and the price is probably going to be okay. It's going to get discounts in Hong Kong. We don't have to pay for shipping because it's in the shops. Just going to go pick it up. But it's still going to annoy me because I got to fix the cape. I got to somehow do something with those extra Build-A-Figure pieces because I don't have the whole monitor. It'd be great if the shop, sometimes Hong Kong shops will chop up the figures and take bits out of the box, and sell the monitor on its own, then maybe. But the price is going to go up because the shop needs to make extra profit by splitting up the figures and stuff. And I don't want to send a message to Mcfarlane saying that it's okay to charge us this much and keep doing this to us. Like, no, I don't want to support this practice. And for anyone who's done it, I'm going to say shame on you. It's like, hey, don't tell me how to spend my money. If you don't like it, don't buy. Hey, how about you shut the fuck up? You support this, figures go more expensive, then in the future you're paying more, I'm paying more, or people who can't afford it just stop buying the figures. So you're affecting yourself, you're affecting every other person who's buying these figures. And when it comes down to it, the prices go up, it's your fault. So no. So if I really want a Spectre figure at this point, it'd be easier for me just to find one of those blank, empty, gray skin figures that Bandai produces, some of those third-party ones, knockoff ones, and just make a green cape, and I already have a Spectre. I don't need to buy the Mcfarlane one. Now I have better articulation and posability. And those knockoff figures, they cost the same as a Mcfarlane one, and because they're copying much better figures, they are better in almost every way. So yeah, that's my rant, complaints, and the positive stuff with the Mcfarlane stuff, and those are my 2 cents on the whole issue. So take care, have a nice day. When I finish painting these stuffs, I'll put the light box back up and film some reviews. I got more Warhammer Lego, different colors and stuff, more sets, more figures. I picked up some more X-Men Mafex stuff because I got them for under $40 US because they were discount stuff, and I was like, yay, I'm going to get rid of the Marvel Legends, I'm going to keep the Mafex. And I finally got the Mezco 98 Batman, I've got Mafex The Batman. Those are really cool, so I want to do some videos on those, but I need to clean up my table before I do that. So take care, have a nice day, I'll see you guys soon, bye bye now.